So, we started Horrible Harry and the Ant Invasion yesterday. And just a refresher that I'm not stopping at chapters because chapters are long. So I'm stopping at random points, good stopping points. So, Horrible Harry found out that his teacher, Mrs. Mackle, was getting ants so they could kind of study it. And he volunteered to be the ant monitor. And then he wanted to go get the ants and put them in the fridge in the teacher's lounge. So he asked if his friend Doug could come. And Doug is telling the story. I know. And then they did something kind of mean to Mrs. Foxworth. They found out she doesn't like ants, so he put them on top of her yogurt. And that's kind of where we left off. So they just got back into class, and we learned that Doug and Harry want to be scientists someday. So let's keep reading to see what's going to happen next. Just as Miss Mackle finished pouring the sleeping ants into the hole, the ants at the bottom of the vial started to wake up. "Goodness!" Miss Mackle exclaimed. Sydney screamed when 3 ants crawled out of the vial onto the science table. Do we see them on the table? Nope, but they're kind of being put in their little cage there. Miss Mackle stood up. "No one move or touch anything. I will get the ants." "One is on the floor," Mary called. Miss Mackle crawled around after it. She put a pencil in front of the runaway ant. It crawled up the eraser. Mrs. Mackle popped the ant into the opening of the ant house and then put the roof back on. "2 ants are missing," she said. Her hair was in her eyes and one of her high heels was off. So she must have been like really trying to catch them. "They're going to get us," Sydney shouted. "Sydney," Miss Mackle said. Whoa! Clearly my stand isn't working here. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Right. "Sydney," Miss Mackle said with her teeth clenched, "we must remain calm." Harry stood in front of the teacher. "As your ant monitor, I will find the missing ants." And then he gave her a salute. "Just don't touch the ants," Miss Mackle insisted. Harry took out his lunchbox. He unwrapped his sandwich and he scraped some of the peanut butter onto his finger. Ooh, that's a good idea. Then he put the finger under the science table and waited. Mrs. Mackle put her shoe back on and put her hair out of her face. "I think everyone should return to their desks now." "I found them," Harry shouted from under the table. Everyone bent down and looked, including Miss Mackle. There were the 2 runaway ants on Harry's finger. Mrs. Mackle grabbed her pencil and quickly scraped them off and dropped them into the opening of the ant city. Harry flashed a big smile. "I told you I'd find them." So here is Harry with the ants on his finger because he had peanut butter. She doesn't look too happy. She goes, Mrs. Mackle frowned. "I told you not." See how the author slanted that word? "I told you not to touch the ants. Look at your finger." Everyone did. There were 2 red marks. "He got bit," Mary exclaimed. "I think he should go to the nurse," Miss Mackle said. "I think you should go to the nurse," Miss Mackle said. "And when you come back, you'll see another name on the monitor chart next to the ant monitor." Harry put his head down as he walked to the nurse's office. Aw, he's probably really bummed, huh? She took that job away from him. The next morning, Harry was real quiet. See this? What's going on here, friends? What happened here? From here until here. It's a transition. So instead of a new chapter, the author just put a transition. So he's at the nurse's office, and now the next morning, he was real quiet. So it's a new day. He didn't join our conversation about ants at the science table. They bury their own dead, I said. "They bury their own food," Mary said. "Ewy," Sydney replied. "Look at those ants. They're kissing." Miss Mackle walked over to our table. "Ants pass food by kissing." "Sometimes they send messages that way." Sydney fell off her chair and rolled over on the floor laughing. "You may return to your seat, Sydney. Ida is about to feed the ants." And I want only serious scientists to watch. Sydney frowned as she walked back to her chair. Harry frowned as he watched Ida do his job. Ida filled an eyedropper from a bowl. Wonder what she's feeding them. What do you guys think? It's an eyedropper. She fed at the eyedropper. Oh, sugar water. Then when the teacher removed the roof, Ida squeezed the eyedropper 3 times into the ant house. I'll get it back, Harry whispered to me. Get what back? My ant monitor job. I looked at Harry. I could tell he was making plans. How? All I have to do is get on the teacher's good side. Then I can ask her for another chance. Just then, Harry tipped back in his chair, and his baseball cards came tumbling out of his pocket. Uh-oh. Mrs. Mackle put her hands on her hips. Harry, put those things away. Baseball is a distraction in the classroom. Harry got down on his knees and picked up his baseball cards. I don't want any more antics from you today. Antics. I don't want any more antics. What do you think that means? Any more like crazies? Mrs. Mackle said. Antics? Harry repeated. That's an ant word. Mrs. Mackle smiled. Yes, it is. We have lots of ant words in our language. Maybe we should think of some. Harry clapped his hands. I thought. Harry might just pull it off. I'll start, Mrs. Mackle. Antifreeze. I put some in my car this morning. Antarctica and Atlantic, Mary said, looking at the globe. Good. Any others? Antipasto, Mr. Cardini, the principal said as he showed up at the door. Everyone laughed. So here, he's probably on the teacher's bad side when he fell off his chair and the cards came out. But now he thinks he's on the teacher's good side because he's starting to play a little ant game with words that have the word ant in it. So I'm going to stop there. Right when the principal walked into the room, do you think that he's going to be okay with everything going on? Or do you think he's going to have the class want to get back to work? I think he'll like the ant experiment, the little ant house. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, I think tomorrow we can finish up this chapter.